out in front of multiple women.
Yeah.
So you're having choices on the women you want initially until they pop their balloon.
Yeah.
So if they don't pop their balloon, now you're choosing between women. So you don't naturally have that effect. Because say if I did have a specific woman in my head, then it's like, oh, but we don't see them, until we get out there.
Right.
So it's like you're choosing between multiple women. I didn't come out and was just like, oh, oh yeah, she's the one for me. She popped her balloon,
Okay.
at the same time. So that also is like, all right, well, that eliminates you, but then, oh, you get it back. Okay, cool. Like, we can explain ourselves, we could talk, communicate, and it ended up working, but I met somebody new, and all that. But
Okay.
Again, we haven't.
Now, to put my take on this, I mean, he pretty much summed up what it was. He saw a bunch of women. He saw the ones that he was attracted to, and unfortunately, during the whole ordeal, his set, the ones that he was attracted to popped their balloons, and the ones that were left, he wasn't so attracted to, but he decided just to go ahead and go along with getting one. And thus, I put this in the category of leading someone on. But then if you listen, like earlier in the interview with them, is that he doesn't like to be in social media. He didn't want anything to be on social media. He didn't want the relationship to be on social media. He didn't want any of that. And I feel like this plays a part into this segment that I chose to take from the interview, is him saying that he ended up just going with a choice instead of just popping all their balloons and just saying, hey, I wasn't interested in anybody, let me come back. I think he was in a mode of let me keep somebody because maybe this will be a good little segment. I can come back and kind of like, kind of show my face again. Or I didn't want to make it seem like I didn't want any of the females. I don't know what was going through his mind. But then he realized that he wasn't really interested in her. And so that's why he was like, man, I don't want this to be seen because now I'm out here in public and I'm on this show, which is very popular. And so now if I kind of break this off or do some clown shit or do something weird, I mean, now I may end up looking like a bad person or whatnot.
This is not a trick.
So that's why he was saying the whole gist of what he said earlier. I don't like it, any of my relationship to be out in the media and all that stuff. So then he could break it off easily and nobody really know about it and they just go to separate ways type shit.
She then start doing
but anyway,
that I didn't like,
I feel like he should have never let him on.
She continued to
or
do
let
something
with
that
her
I
show.
didn't like,
It
then
seems
that's when I
like
was
she
like,
has
hey,
this three.
I at least
Now
gave
this is my
a
assumption.
shot
I'm not gonna say
to
this
see
is
if it
what she
worked,
does, but based off what
unfortunately,
I've
you're
seen from
constantly going
the
back
various
into
other
whatever
episodes,
your
is she has like this
habit
3-strike
is
rule,
that I'm
and she has
not
it
really
for the
fucking
men
with,
and the
ain't
women.
really trying to
3-strike
change,
rule.
so
She
I
gives them
guess we can go ahead
3
and
chances of
split
being
ways
on her show.
because
She did it with the electrician.
one,
She had him on
I
3
wasn't
times. The
overly
3rd
interested
time
in
was
type shit.
she was like, man, you're a nice person. I want to
And
really get
like I
you with
said, I wish
somebody. So
women
she
would do
became the
this
perfect
on the
wingman
flip
for him.
side. If they did
And
this,
she looked for
then it would
women who
give
were
a lot
only
of men
specifically
who are
interested
out here
in
who
the
don't
electrician.
get
And she
even a
brought them
chance.
on.
Like I said, I
And
put it in
thus
one of my
then
other
gave him the
videos.
opportunity to
Women
just choose
act like they're
between
gonna give you
women
a
who
chance.
only like him specifically. Unfortunately, he blew that on the date, so that was on him. And then also she did it for the one Nigerian, the African American dude who was Nigerian. uh I think he was on there once, or he was on there twice. I'm not sure, 3. I'm thinking 2, because the second time that I remember seeing him on there was when he got with the one, the little light skinned baddie, little petite light skinned baddie. So he got with her. So currently we haven't had an update, but yeah, the first one he had got with, I guess she blew him off. So yeah, that didn't work. And then another one was the was the doctor dude who everybody disliked because his way of talking about what men want and whatnot. And then of course the last time he had went on, I ended up getting to see a video of him going off saying that the segment in which he was in, segment he was in, they cut it up, so they took out some of the parts that he said. But I guess because his whole thing is he wanted to have like two women, so he wanted to go on the show to recruit women so he can lay up with and have him two baddies beside him and whatnot. And of course, that kind of hurts Arlette's brand because how the show has taken off and build up to what it is currently. A lot of the viewers who are watching her show want to see black love. They want to see a black man and a black woman together in a healthy relationship, potentially a healthy relationship. And they want to see, the men who don't get a chance, or the men who are typically not really, given the opportunity sometimes to get with some of these females. They want to see uh, the heterosexual relationship. This is why you don't see the bisexual, the lesbian, or the gay type segments on here, because in truth nobody really wants to see that in mass. Also, the fact that it's always a mono relationship where it's just between a man and a woman, not what the one doctor was looking for, where he was looking for two women and hopefully them being bisexual. For him, that's what he was looking for. So ultimately, it didn't. Basically, uh, his whole thought process of wanting to go on there and find him some concubines so he can have beside him wasn't ideal for Arlette's brand that she has now has out there with this show. So this is why they cut it up. Anyway, they gave him 3 chances. Then they also gave it was this one female who I consider ghetto, but she has the raspy voice. She's light skinned. She was on the Ninja Turtle episode. She was in the blue dress. She's been on here on Pop the Balloon 2 times, so she got one more time to reappear, that we might end up seeing her on an episode again.
when we left, when we matched and we left and we went to the fashion show, and then like we didn't have to do anything. We didn't have to do anything. We didn't have to hang out. We didn't have to, I'm the type of person, if I don't like you, we can't be around each other. I can't fake the funk.
Yeah.
So like for me, it's just like we didn't have to talk on the phone every day. We didn't have to text. We didn't have to hang out. We didn't have to do any of those things. If you felt like you had other options, or you want to have other options, or you feel like you are better off with someone else, or you feel like this ain't it, or what.
It's funny how you're hearing this, because it's typically women who feel like they have more options and feel like they can go somewhere else. But for her to be saying this, says that he must be a pretty boy, and I guess he's a pretty boy, and that's why he feels the same way, because he got a plethora of options. But I do agree with her. If you weren't interested, or you didn't want to give her any type of chance, then why even go with her? You should have just popped her balloon. It seems to me he was like, social media, being out there, I gotta do something. I can't not just ignore her. So either he got to that point of like peer pressure, but it was social media pressure. So for some reason he didn't want to look bad in social media. In turn, it did make you look bad, because this is the end result. You should have just popped the balloon, and everybody would have probably forgot about it, and then went on to the next and say, oh, you're back.
Whatever. I'm just like, we can go our separate ways.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah,
it
but
is not
it's not
a problem for me. Like, I have, so it's just like I'm just trying to figure out, like, I'm a black and white type of person.
Right.
Either or.
choices. No, it's just more of like, you gotta realize